right. So I wanted to talk to you about your experience in the JConn Geniuses, the 90-day coaching program. And the first question I actually want to ask is, what made you want to join the group coaching?
Yeah, so I just feel like when people come together, they just have, really great ideas. And I think as a business owner, you kind of get so like focused in whatever you're doing. And, these group coaching programs allow you to, especially yours, allowed me to like really take a step back and look at my business from a higher level and really identify areas where I can grow and really refine my processes to have that passive income stream that I've been striving for.
Mm. So was that your objective when you joined the group coaching, to focus all in on creating that passive product?
So actually, no. When I originally joined, I was really focusing on growing my monthly management program, but I quickly realized that that wasn't going to be scalable long term because it would just require me to take on more and more without really being able to grow and scale in the way that I want to.
Mhm.
And I think through the time in this program, you really opened my eyes to being able to create a course that not only provides value to different audiences, but also being able to scale and grow that course in a very strategic way so that I can still grow my business and still do what I want, but also being able to have that kind of like passive revenue stream as well.
Mhm. Okay, so with regard to recognizing that doing all these one-on-one services just requires so much of your time, on a scale of 1 to 10, when you first decided to start creating a passive income product compared to what you are now, like how, I guess what I'm trying to, how hard did you think it was going to be on a scale of 1 to 10? And then now that you've spent the 90 days and we've talked about it periodically, step by step, would you say that it's as hard as you thought it was going to be?
Yeah, that's a great question. I definitely feel like at the beginning I was like, this is going to be so difficult and it's going to require so much time. And I don't know, just like looking at it back then, it was super scary. And I probably thought it would be like over a 10 on the scale of like how hard it was going to be. But now, like looking back on it and like the launches that I did and the information that I was able to get just by doing those launches. And like over the 90 days being able to like have this program align with the launches that I was doing. It really wasn't that hard. And now looking back on it, like I feel like I'm have so much information and so much knowledge on how I can like move forward and put all of these things into motion and really grow this business.
Do you feel like launching the product, the course, also helped you learn more about your clients and what you do as a one-to-one service?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think anytime like you're launching a new product or service, you kind of learn a little bit more about who your, target audience really is.
Mhm.
So I definitely feel like as I, launched this course and like grew my course offerings,
Mhm.
um, it made me realize that, my one-on-one clients really needed to be those higher ticket clients rather than me spreading myself so thin and trying to be everything to everyone, really just focusing on the people who had the time and the money to spend on bringing me on one-to-one rather than trying to I guess you know change my price points to match everyone's needs.
Right, exactly. So because you joined the group coaching program at the same time as you launched actually twice during the group coaching program, right? I think.
Yeah.
Was it helpful to you to have somebody to talk through things every couple weeks and just like tweak what you were doing during your launches to try and get the most out of the launch during the group coaching program? Or do you think you would have been better off getting the information during the group coaching program than doing a launch?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like I learn by doing. So I'm the type of person like as soon as I feel like I, want to test something, I like to like immediately just do it. Otherwise I end up, overthinking and
Mhm.
overanalyzing everything. So I feel like for me it was super helpful to like have these launches and to like slowly, critique them as I launch them, so that over time I can say, oh, this worked really well. This might have not worked as well. so that ultimately when I do go like full evergreen, which is, my end goal,
Mm.
I can look back and like really understand exactly what I was doing during that time. And, really like looking back on it, understanding like how these processes that we were talking through helped.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember there was a point during the third launch. So it would be the second launch during the group coaching program, and I think your third launch entirely, where I think you felt a little discouraged about the launch because you weren't gaining as much traction. And the advice I gave you was you have 3 days left. I think you were 3 days before your cart closed, and we talked about playing until the whistle blows. To me, when I was in group coaching, when I was in launching too, when I would get discouraged because launches they're not like, I don't want to say that they're easy, but I also don't want to say that they're hard, but they're definitely a big um energetic effort. So when you are putting your message out there and you're getting crickets, you're putting your message out there and you're getting crickets, having to me it was helpful to have somebody come back and say, listen, I don't care if you're getting crickets, keep going. Was that helpful to you when we talked about just keep going until your actual cart closes? You're going to keep putting that message out there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because I think it's easy to get discouraged when you're going through a launch and you're, like you said, you're putting so much energy and,
Mhm.
really like your heart and your soul into it and you're like pouring yourself into it and like you're not really getting the response that you want out of it.
Mhm.
But I think that's so important. I mean, especially as a business owner to really like pull through and, like you said, play till the whistle blows and not give up, because if you give up, then what's the point? So really like having, a soundboard to talk through these things during that time really helped. And I think in the end, like those last few days, I got like 2 or 3 more people to sign up. So that definitely paid off to really, put myself out there and keep going.
Yeah. What have you seen change in your business aside from the launch and aside from the resiliency needed I don't want to say get through, to go through something like that? What else have you seen changing your business?
I think just being able to look at the bigger picture more. I mean, I definitely can get like so caught up in the details and just like the day-to-day things that I need to get through, and to be able to like have those calls that we had every other week and to just like step back and like look at, what our ultimate goals are and how we can reach those goals and talk through that really helped. I like especially talking at the end like about the Facebook group, because I had all of these ideas, but I never like really understood exactly how I wanted to implement them. So
Mhm.
that definitely offered me like a lot of clarity, and especially like your ideas, like you're so strategic in that way. So that really helped me to kind of like understand exactly how I was going to reach those goals, and like not even just now, but like in the next, few months through the end of the year, even like I feel like I have like a really clear idea of like what I want to do the
Right.
next couple of months or whatever it
Yeah.
is.
That's awesome. So you not only being in the group coaching program for the 90 days, not only gave you clarity on projects that you wanted to work on. So you came in not exactly expecting to focus on passive income, but that's what you chose. Then during the 90 days, we were able to stay focused on it and help you take action on that goal. And then the group coaching has also helped you set up next steps for what's coming in your business in the next quarter or half year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Yay. I like hearing that. Um, okay, so what did you find most valuable in the group coaching?
Yeah, I mean, I just not only like, during my times of like bouncing ideas off of you, but also like listening to other people and like what they're going through and their ideas. Like, I think just having that community, I guess, like being an online business owner can be pretty lonely at times, especially right now. So, not just having that community, but hearing other people's ideas and their thought processes, it really helps me to really like again take a step back and like look at my business on like a higher level, and seeing like if there's things that I can change or using these ideas to kind of like fuel my processes, and always just like having that community piece, that networking piece, just meeting with other people. And I mean, Alex took the pin method and that was amazing, and just meeting other online business owners is really great as well.
Yeah, for sure, because everybody's at a different place in their business and everybody has different business goals. So, like you said, hearing what they're working on, and maybe what I've experienced too is like maybe it doesn't apply to what I'm doing exactly at that moment, but I kind of file the information away. And then when I'm working on, like, let's say we were talking about growing email lists, at the moment I might not be working on growing an email list, but then when it comes time to, I'll remember, oh yeah, we talked about lead magnets and we talked about nurture sequences and that kind of stuff, and I can always go back to it because we record the calls.
Totally, totally. And I think like there's so much value in that because even though if it's not relevant now, it's going to be relevant to you at some point. So I definitely think that there's so much value in that for sure.
Yeah. Was there anything unexpected from the group coaching that you were like, oh whoa, I didn't expect that?
Um, Definitely the last week, just talking through the Facebook group stuff, it was always like an idea for me to like be able to have like those live calls in, my strategy somehow. And I never thought through like having that, membership type, structure and having live calls be a part of that. And I really like that idea. So I'm really hoping to implement that soon because I really feel like you're definitely right. Like that will still allow me to have that, live, like
Mm.
face-to-face touch with my students without having to have me be on every single call with them and teach the whole course start to finish.
Right. And that's what helps to provide the passive. So you're going to do kind of a hybrid. So you'll have an evergreen product where people can self-pace the course, but then they'll have the paid membership where if they have questions or if they want to watch other Q&A calls, they'll have access to that, which, and to me, that's kind of like the group coaching thing where being able to access other Q&A calls where other people hop on and ask questions, other people will ask questions you didn't think to ask. And you'll say, oh my gosh, that's great information. I didn't even think about using it that way, or I didn't think about asking that question. So the value that adds to the paid membership to me, it's gold.
Totally. And I also like love the idea of having, people who've taken the pin method or even people who haven't taken the pin method who just want to be a part of the community, like really having that group of business owners come together in that not just Facebook group, but just like in like a membership kind of place.
100%. And they can bounce ideas off each other within the group. It's great. I love communities. Do you feel like there was anything in the group coaching program that you didn't find valuable or you didn't need?
I don't think that there was anything I didn't find valuable or that I didn't need. I've never been a Facebook person, so the Facebook group was a little bit hard for me to like stay on top of because like I'm just not, I've never been like very on top of Facebook groups. However, I need to get better at it. I have my own Facebook group. I want to grow my own Facebook group, so I need to start using that more. So that's probably like my own problem and not so much
Yeah.
like
So
a
it just
problem.
wasn't something that you used. So when I went in there and I would do like the set it up Sundays and stuff, you didn't see it.
Yeah, I feel like I would almost like have been more aware of that if like it was emailed to me because I feel like when things are in my inbox, I'm like I have to open it. I don't know. That's just how I am. But yeah, sometimes it would just kind of like go over my head, and I would be like, oh, I forgot to do that, or
Yeah. Well, that's great feedback because that's really easy for me to do is create the email to go out at the same time that I create the Facebook post. And then I can put a link in the email for people to click over to the Facebook and submit their feedback within the Facebook group.
totally.
See, I learned too. Was there anything that you felt like you wanted to work on that you didn't get to work on? Or do you feel like there was anything you didn't get out of the group coaching program that you would like to continue to work on in the future, either on your own or with someone else?
I think it's definitely just like, you know, being able to continue to grow and scale in a strategic way. And I think that, these calls are like always going to be helpful for me. So I definitely like could see myself like joining, again, or like I just think that it's so valuable to, have a soundboard to bounce ideas off of, like I said, and like have, a structured call where you really like dig into the different parts of your business and what's going on. and not get like so in your own head and stuck in like what you're doing again like day to day. So I definitely feel like you could even like create like, you know, a second course or like some type of like ongoing program or something.
Mm.
Um, because I know like I would find that so valuable because I really enjoyed these calls and I did like also how they were like spaced out a little bit. So like we could kind of like take what we had talked about and like go and run with it. And then like 2 weeks later, we would like follow up and like see how we were doing because it gave you enough time to like really implement the things that we were talking about.
Right, for sure. Yeah. And I had considered doing weekly calls when I set up the program. And that felt like by the time you finish the call, you get the process set up for whatever that you want to work on. You barely have time to implement it before the next call. So I felt like the 2 week space between the calls was a good amount of time to do what you were supposed to be doing, get feedback on it, and then have the ability to talk about it again. And I like the idea of an ongoing something, maybe a membership, maybe JConn Genius's membership group will be coming in the future at some point, because I would like to see people continue on in their journey and be able to provide that support, even if it's on like a smaller basis, so that they can keep growing and then go forward with like the alumni groups or something along those lines. What so with regard to the Facebook groups and the spreadsheets and the emails and the video calls that are recorded, is there anything that besides the email that you suggested with the Set It Up Sunday, which I'm totally going to do, is there anything else you felt like I could add that would create more value in the group?
Um, hmm. I don't know. Maybe some type of like document where like you're tracking like exactly like what each person's goals were that week. I don't know, because sometimes I felt like I didn't have time to like go back and like watch the video. So like sometimes I was like, oh, what did we talk about? Like what were those three things? So like if we had some type of like concrete like thing where it was like this is our goal this week, like this is what, you know, our steps were to like get to like some type of like I don't
Okay.
know, process type
Yeah.
of
Like a tracking sheet almost.
yeah, I'm, like, very, like, visual, so, like, I like to, like, see things, like,
Yeah.
in front of me, and I, like, take a lot of notes too, but I think, like, some type of tracking sheet would definitely be
Okay.
extremely valuable.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for all of this. Is there anything else that you want to add that maybe, you know, for people who are considering group coaching and think it's not for them, or people who have only ever done one-on-one coaching, is there anything you want to add?
I mean, I think that group coaching is truly, like, so valuable, like, it really is worth, like, your time, your energy, like there's so much value that you get out of having, you know, a lot of different people and a lot of different experience levels in a group coaching setting. So I would highly recommend it. I really enjoyed it and I got so much out of it. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This has
yeah,
been really great. I can't wait to see what you do, and I want to stay in touch with you for sure, whether it's through Facebook or Instagram or whatever, but I can't wait to see what you do with the rest of the course, because I know you are like right now you are, what do you call it? Like you're on a I can't even think of the word. Like you had your catalyst. You like got fired up and you got started, and now you're like a rocket ship. You're just going up, going up.
totally, totally. I mean, and you've had so much to do with that. I mean, you're the one who like gave me the idea to do the course in the first place when we like were in that coffee shop way
Yeah,
back in November. So
yeah.
um,
I was like,
definitely
you've got to teach people how to do this.
yes, you seriously do. Like it's seriously been so amazing and you've been such a great help to me. So I mean, yeah, this course was extremely valuable and I know that you'll help so many other people. Um, yeah.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Jess. Thank you for allowing me to join
You're
this
welcome.